Shalom Yasharala and all those listening, welcome. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who are Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those 12 tribes. The Most High say he's the power of. You hear him say the power of Israel. That's what it's talking about. He's the power of those 12 tribes. And I'm going to a lesson tonight pertaining to being in the spirit or being out of the spirit. Simple as that. Are you in the spirit? Or are you out of the spirit? Very important that we look at the fact that we're in these last days, and we got to really, consider ourselves and our movements and everything that we're dealing with as far as trying to make it to the kingdom, because a lot of times we could think that we're already there, pretty much we have to be there, but we don't have to be nowhere. Most High, his ways and thoughts are not our ways and thoughts. We got to work to get there. The scriptures say the righteous scarcely going to be saved. So we have to consider that, that's why I've been pushing how we have to stop offending the Most High in any way, shape, or form that we can. Okay, I got my comments on finally. And welcome everyone coming in saying all praises to the Most High. Yahweh Bashama Mashiach Yahweh Khan. It's very important that we as a people being the light to the world. First and foremost, our world of Israel and the world of all these other nations, they worlds, you know what I mean? We supposed to be that light, so we shining bright with the spirit of the Most High, that we got to be in the spirit in all things that we do to be able to be that light, shining bright in a crooked and perverse nation, wherever we scattered in, If it was one school in New York City, why? If it was one school in New York City, why is it so many Israelites sets? If y'all come out of one West, and who got the truth? Well, one thing for certain, the truth is Psalms 119, 142, just in case you didn't know. And that's thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So those that are keeping the laws of the Most High have the truth. This ain't something that, a man can make up. It's simple as that. It's not about no camp or camps. It's about, because you ain't going to be judged with no camp, are you? If you die today or tomorrow, life was better in the 1990s. You die today or tomorrow, you ain't going with no camp. I don't care if all of y'all die together. You're gonna be judged as an individual, point blank. Understand this. We all gonna be to judgment seat of Mashiach Yahushua. So it's about, as much as we can, bringing our people to the Most High, first and foremost. That's what's missing. Most of the conversation is about people. You see, that's what you asking about. You ain't asking nothing about the Most High. Most of all the conversations that I see is about people. We scattered among all nations. Understand this. We scattered among all nations. So just to say an African that is a Hamite, no, he's not an Israelite. He's of Shem, and he live in that land of Africa, because Africa is named after Leosiphius Africanus, a so-called white man. You should know that if you're from the 90s. You understand? So we scattered among all nations. I seen us in Asia. Going over when I was over there, I seen us everywhere, that I've traveled. We everywhere. France, we right there in the airport. Everybody's us speaking French. You see what I'm saying? So we scattered among all nations. It's just about who really gonna come back to the Most High, who's gonna deliver us. You see, but we so focused on people. Just hear what I'm saying. We're so focused on people that we don't really know the Most High. We don't even realize we offended him by putting ourselves before him. Rise, Israel. Rise, Most High, to deliver us. How about that? Learn about him. Exalt him. Because ain't no man going to save us. But we so focused on people. And that's the problem. But as always, we're going to start with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do and word of deed, do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Giving thanks to the Most High, who I'm talking about. Power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, for everything. And you words be praised for everything. I say glory to his holy and magnificent and powerful name. Because we as a people, man, we going backwards to me. If we ain't really looking at him only, then on Mashiach Yahushua, then us. That's why we got to come out of this, man. We got to come out of the mindset of, and it's something that have us in diluted state of thinking, I might say, because nobody's challenging the fact that we're not talking about the Most High. Most people don't even know him. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Most people don't even know him. They ain't thinking about him. They just think about people. The debates are about who and what? People. All the time. They ain't debating about him. You know, it's sad because you got people that say that he don't even exist. They done cancel him out and said Mashiach Yahushua is him. So on high levels, when you think about a spiritual, that's why it's like who's in the spirit, who's out of the spirit. They got APTTMH. TMH. Somebody that don't know that's not Israelite, they don't know what those letters mean. I'll ask people, what does this mean? They're not on social media. They don't know nothing about that. And you can't write it out. Man, you gotta understand this. For anybody hear my voice, y'all better recognize I just put this out today. Challenge this. Combat this. Ecclesiasticus 43:29. The Most High, who I'm talking about, is terrible and very great and marvelous in his power. When ye glorify the Most High, exalt him, that's the Most High. How? As much as you can. For even yet will ye far exceed. You hear that? And when you exalt him, he said, put forth all your strength. When you exalt the Most High, say, put forth all your strength. And be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. You hear that? That's what it's about. Or tell me something more than that. What's more important than that? People. He said, when you exalt the Most High, he said, put forth all your strength. That's why he said Isaiah 58:1. And people say, repent and keep the laws. People don't know the law. Who gave the laws? They don't know nothing about the Most High enough, I'll say. He said, cry aloud. Isaiah 58:1. He said, cry aloud. Spare not. Don't spare nobody's feelings, he said. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. So he said, speak loud. You speak loud in this world, there's something wrong. Oh, you got to quiet down. You got to quiet down because they want you to be a gentleman. I look at gentleman as a Gentile man. How a Gentile man would have a so-called brother, an Israelite, be as they would want us to be and be docile. Be less than what we should be. That's what he said, lift up your voice like a trumpet. That's the loudest instrument in the band. And show my people who are the 12 tribes of Israel their transgression, in the house of Jacob their sins. Of how we as a people have committed Hosea 5 and 15. We got to consider this. I mean, we can debate people. That's all we talk about is people. What about this? Hosea 5:15. This from the Most High. He said, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. You hear that? So how are we going to get the Most High to react to us and to come from his place, stand up, rise up? He got to rise first. Rise up, tell him I shall to rise and go and judge and make war. He said, I'm going to return to my place till we acknowledge our offense, how we offended him. That's what's important. And seek his face. He said, seek my face, because he turned his face away from us. But we got to acknowledge how we offended him, first and foremost. We can say keep the laws all we want to. You can't go nowhere to find the laws, 613 laws. I have went over the laws. You can go on my YouTube page. If you hear now, you can go and type in going over the laws. I'm going over the laws, you know, but we got to know who gave the laws, who made those laws up. That's the Most High. He turned his face away from us, and the nations know this. Till we acknowledge our offense, y'all. We offended him and still offended him. How we deal with each other is offensive to him. He said, in our affliction, he said, in their affliction, they will seek me early. How much we got to be afflicted? How much what we got to go through before we realize we out of the spirit with the Most High. To me, that's most important. I don't know if y'all can think of something else more important than that. I like to hear it. Talk to me. Because we've been talking about each other forever and ever and ever and ever. We this and we that, and we ain't nothing as we ought to be with him. Because he turned his face away from us. You know? And that's what's most important to me. You know, I might be, you know, by myself or whoever want to really look at what I'm saying to be there, but I see ain't nobody debating me on that. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that, because that's very important. Very, very important. Because ain't no man gonna save us. Tell you that in Deuteronomy 28:64. No man shall save you. But people are always looking for some man to be able to build them up, or look at, you know, what I know, or want to be somebody in this dang on damn nation that we in, wherever we scattered in. Mashiach didn't make himself no reputation. That's why to pull back, man, and really look inside from being outside, look into our nation, and ask the Most High, cry to the Most High, and ask him to show me what it is that's needed to tell our people. Like he just gave me Acts 28, 26, and 27 out of nowhere. I woke up, I heard that, I was like, whoa, let me look what this says. Because I didn't know off the bat what it was, you know what I mean? I didn't recognize it off the bat just to know that scripture. But he gave me that. Talk about us, because I'm fervent about him. I'm fervent about us, coming back to him and how what we got to do to please him. We so busy about looking at us and somebody else, man, as far as people, man. Most I don't care about that. Look what he said. Look what he told me. Acts 28:26. He said, good saying, go unto this people. Because I'm asking for direction, instruction, guidance, and correction. To be able to teach and tell the people what needs to be. That's my prayer. Everything else, will be taken care of. He already know what we need, whatever we going through, whatever. He know the past, the present, and the future. But we need to know this. This is what he gave me. Acts 28:26, saying, go unto this people, and saying, hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and not perceive. We said, for the heart of this people, that's the mind, the thoughts of this people is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. That's the Most High. The I is the Most High. He said, I should heal them. You understand? But he don't want everybody to be converted. Everybody not going to be saved. Okay, how you look at it? Everybody's not going to be saved. He don't want everybody to be converted. Because everybody ain't real in the spirit. Everybody not real in the spirit. How many people on the scene come and go? Matter of fact, I just got a text from my last class. Brother, remember me 20 years ago. Come in my Sabbath class 20 years ago. I don't know what he's doing now, because we didn't get a chance to communicate. I'm just really getting my comments today. I didn't see I wasn't able to see all the comments before today. So as I'm seeing now, you see what I'm saying? So all these years and certain things been brought out, it's going to be continued to put in your face because I love the Most High. I love my Shaka, I love my people, and those that's going to really hear the truth and really change and change and change and keep changing and looking at getting better and not remaining the same. You remain the same, man, you're in the congregation of the dead. What good are you what good is it going to do for you to remain the same? Like what you talking about? What about my set Hebrews? Everybody, like I say, Hebrews, who is that talk about? People. Telling y'all, just pay attention. That's why I say some in the spirit, some out of the spirit. It's basically what I see, man. I see people not being in the spirit. Look at Isaiah 50:10. Isaiah 50:10. Who is among you that feareth the Most High? Who among us that feareth the Most High? That's scared, that's afraid of the Most High, that obey the voice of his servant. Who is it? That walketh in darkness and have no light. That darkness is ignorance, not knowing, and don't care to know. Walketh in darkness and have no light. Let them trust in the name of the Most High. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said that's his name forever, the immortal all generation. To this day. And stay upon his power. Is that what y'all doing? That what you gonna do? You stand upon the Most High, or you just dealing with how you're Israelite and everybody else, which comes down to what? Everybody else is what? People. People, people, people. That's all I see that mostly everybody's debating. They have a problem with. They're going back and forth about people. You see? Behold, he said, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand. Ye shall lie down in sorrow, that I is the Most High. You kindle your own fire. You trying to create sparks from your fire and not from the fire that is from the Most High. First and foremost, the fire that's from Mashiach Yahushua. And we dealing with our fire, sparks that's flying from us, and people grabbing them spots. And y'all think that's the way. It ain't the way. It ain't the way, y'all. This you shall have a mine hand, he said. Ye shall lie down in sorrow. You want to be sad? He's telling you. But everybody's not, following the power, the Most High, to be able to have that light, which is his laws. When you read Proverbs 6:23, his law is light. Let's continue. Isaiah 51 and 1. Hearken to me. Listen to me. Ye that follow after righteousness. We know, class, righteousness is what? Psalms 119, 172. Psalms follow after righteousness. Psalms 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments, that's your commandments, Most High, are righteousness. So he's saying what? Follow after the commandments of the Most High. Follow after the laws of the Most High. Ye that seek the Most High, going back to Isaiah 51 and 1, hearken to me. He always tells us to listen to him. Always tells us to listen. That's why I say, the Spirit say, okay, are you in the Spirit or you out of the Spirit? You rolling in the Spirit or you rolling out of the Spirit? You see? It says, hearken to me. Listen to me, ye that follow after righteousness, you that follow after the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments that he wrote with his finger. Listen to him. Ye that seek the Most High, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, which is the Mashiach Yahushua, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. What are you going to do? You going to remain in that hole that you dug? We try to get out of the hole. And some of us getting out of the hole by knowing that it started with him. It started with the Most High. What's the first thing he said? Listen to me, hearken to me. Verse 7. Hearken unto me. What he saying again? Listen to me. Listen to the Most High. You that know righteousness. See, everybody say they know righteousness, but he said, listen to me. We, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, we the one that know righteousness. Ain't nobody what religion is keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and learn of the sacrificial laws, if I might ask. None of them. Only us, Israelites. It's talking to us. The people in whose heart is my law. Hear that? The people in whose heart, whose mind is my law. Listen. Psalms 119, Psalm 147, 19 and 20. Who he give his law to? Whose mind is my law? It's not for everyone. Look, Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. These other nations have not known. He said he dealt with no other nation. And as for the judgments of punishment for breaking the Most High's laws, he said they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. That's what we got to do. That's what he's saying. He said, going back to Isaiah 51 and 7, he said, hearken, listen unto me. Ye that know righteousness, we that know the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, he said, the people in whose heart is my law. The people whose mind, the heart is the mind, the way you think, your thoughts, is my law. You know, moral law, civil law, dietary law, ceremonial laws that we following right now. Fear ye not the reproach of men. They fear ye not the disgrace of men. Neither be ye afraid of their revelings, them talking about us, going back and forth arguing with us. For the moth shall eat them up. You hear that? For the moth shall eat them up. Like a garment. And the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness, my laws, my commandments that the Most High wrote with his finger shall be forever. You hear that? It's going to be forever. And my salvation, power, and authority is going to put on this earth in righteousness from generation to generation. He said, awake, awake. Wake up, wake up. Smacking us. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Put on strip. O arm of the Most High. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generation of old. Art thou not it that have cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Come on. Art thou not it which have dried the sea, the waters of the great sea, that have made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over when he let us walk through the Red Sea on dry ground? Therefore the redeemed of the Most High shall return and come with singing unto Zion. You hear that? The redeemed, the ransom, the remnant, the justified, the glorified, always a certain number, the many, the few, the elect, the election. All these are part of the redeemed of the Most High shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness. Someone's asking me about joy. Here go your joy right here. They shall obtain gladness and joy. You hear that? And sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I am he that comforteth you. Who art thou, that thou shouldst be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man which shall be made as grass, and forgetteth the Most High thy maker? Huh? That's what I see. Y'all better come back to the Most High. Stop saying something. All PTTMH, APTTMH, and all these different initials and can't write out all praise to the Most High. Come on. And forgetteth the Most High thy maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, and has feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile exhorted that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread shall fail. Come on, man. We got a power, man. We got a power of powers of powers of powers of powers. Ain't no power like the Most High. Ain't no power like a Mashiach Yahushua sitting on the right hand side of the Most High, hanging out with the archangel of war, Michael the archangel, doing war maneuvers and so forth. This is what I'm gonna do when I go down there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And say, yeah, we could do this. We could do that, and giving them, they kicking it, getting ready to come and make war instead of righteousness on this earth. That's the problem with people. They don't realize it's gonna be a righteous kingdom. Everybody can't get past where we at now. In this wicked place, man. Well, you better learn to praise the Most High, or you're gonna be stuck. Matthew 6:22. You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be crisped. That's being burnt up crispy. When he tear your butt up and bring judgment on this earth, that's when he coming back with fire. A lot of people gonna burn before that time. Look, Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. If you focus on the singleness of operating, first and foremost, knowing of the Most High, knowing that he is the one that gave us the law, statutes, commandments, and following Hamashiach Yahushua, he was an example to show us that we can follow and operate in the truth. Because he said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws, statutes, commandments, that's going to lead to everlasting life. So it can happen. It's just a matter of where you at. You put this light, which is the laws of the Most High. First and foremost, let's get that, because it came out twice. Proverbs 6:23. I just gave the scripture. Let's go there. Proverbs 6:23. So when you understand, everything comes back to the Most High. I don't care where you go. Tell me I'm wrong. Everything comes back to the Most High. For the commandment is a lamp. This is Proverbs 6:23, defining that light. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, first and foremost. And reproofs of instruction are the way of light. So when you look at Matthew 6:22, it's saying the light of the body is the eye. So your eye is supposed to be focused on what it is that you see. First and foremost is, how do I please the Most High? What do I have to do to please the Most High? The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye is single, you focus on what you need to focus on and being in the truth and following the truth, which is the laws and the commandments of the Most High, having faith in Mashiach Yahushua, and loving your brother and sister as an Israelite, as yourself, thy whole body shall be full of light. Your whole body gonna be full of the light of the Most High. That light is the laws, the commandments, how you look at it. And when you look at what he's saying, because all the laws based upon how we love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul and strength. 613 laws, y'all. How we love the Most High and how we love each other. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That's what this is all about. But, he said, if thine eye be evil, if your eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. You see? That's why we can't really operate in the spirit if you're in darkness. You're in darkness, you're not operating in the spirit because you are evil. Either you're righteous or you're evil. Ain't no in between. Because you can be in between if you want to. Like a lot of people, they really not dealing with how it is to be spiritual. They ain't actually, I guess you can find out on your own. And they doing all kind of stuff because they still carnal. And the Most High gonna deal with them. I done seen it over and over again. I'm telling you, it ain't no pretty thing, man. Ain't no pretty thing. Look, it said in Revelation, Mashiach was telling you, and he is the word of the Most High. In Revelation 3, and we're gonna look at verse 15. He said, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. He said, I know what you're doing. You know what we're doing. Everything's being recorded in the books. He said, I know thy works. In the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and the secret parts too. He said, I know thy works, so we know what we're doing, that thou art neither cold nor hot. He said, I would that you were cold or hot. He said, I wish you were cold, not dealing with this at all, or hot and be in it, still zealed up. You know, still got that zeal. Did not give up. He know what we're doing. It's being reported. It's being every day, every minute, every second is being recorded. And the book's gonna be open. And that's gonna be the judgment. So then, because thou art lukewarm, straddling the fence, some of you straddling the fence, you ain't really spiritual as you think you are, or that be every day. You wouldn't be out of the spirit. Nobody has to tell you out of the spirit. You off. If you really in the spirit, you spiritual. Some of you lukewarm. Some of you part of them, you know, where was you at? We couldn't get in touch with you on Christmas. Y'all with y'all family honoring Christmas with them. Ain't nobody looking at it. Nobody looking at it. You over there, you know, then went with the people having New Year's parties. Y'all don't went in there partying with them, knowing it ain't the New Year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You lukewarm. You don't know how to be spiritual. You can talk about spiritual all the time if you want to, but then when it comes down something, I've just seen it, man. I got a lot of years of seeing people come because birdies always come back and talk to me and tell me this, that, and the third, whatever. I hear about it, it's like, wow, you're spiritual. I mean, they tell you, especially about prayer, you pray for things. Now they off to themselves. Unless you know they jacked up by themselves. Then he come back and tell me, oh man, I'm jacked up. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, to everybody. You know, it's real sad, man. So sad to the point you become numb. You tell people that this happened, that happened, this happened, happened. They don't hear you. They in the spirit. Because they lukewarm. They lukewarm. He said, so then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. That's dangerous right there. He wants you to don't deal with it or deal with it. If you're dealing with it, you got to be hot. You got to remain with that zeal. You can't let the zeal leave you. People lukewarm, you know, playing in this, you know. This ain't no joke. This is serious. We trying to get out of here. We trying to make it to the kingdom. Ain't nobody made it to the kingdom. Ain't nobody saved. He said in Matthew 24, saved from what? Matthew 24 and 13, he said, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right? You got to endure until the end. Then you're going to be saved. You understand? He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. But he told us in verse 12, and because of iniquity, wickedness on this earth and evil people that's not looking at what the Most High have to say and telling us, shall abound, be plentiful in the earth, the love of many shall wax cold. We say the love of many gonna wax cold. People gonna be cold-blooded. He said also in verse 11, and many false prophets, these false preachers and teachers, shall rise, and shall deceive many. You know, and shall deceive many. You understand? When the Most High wanted to kill King Ahab, you know how he killed him? He had a lying spirit come down and lie to all his prophets. These are the things I think about from what's going on, what could be happening, especially when he just gave me Acts 28, 26, and 27, what I just read to y'all. You know, I'm looking at, wow, this is to me, so I can realize this is where our people are. This is where we are. Well, I gotta warn you. I gotta talk to you. I gotta tell you, because go to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, and verse 18. It says, when I say unto the wicked, that's those that are evil, that don't have understanding. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. You know, that's why, take it or leave it. Some cats can deal with me, some cats can't. I'm gonna keep it real though, because it's saying this same man that you don't tell that he's doing wrong, he gonna die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand, or a woman, whoever. He said his blood is gonna require at my hand if I don't want him. That's gonna be on me. That's gonna be on us. Yet, if thou warn, the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, you warn them, they don't want to turn from their wickedness, breaking the laws of the Most High, doing what's wrong, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. You warned him, you told him, he gonna die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Delivered your soul, man. You understand, man, we something else, man, that we mainly don't know nothing about, enough about ourselves. Because when you look at the Most High sending the prophets out, we ain't want to hear the prophets. I just went through how the women, was dealing with Jeremiah. He was saying, thus said the Most High. It was like, I don't care what the Most High said. I don't want to hear what you say. We're going to do what comes out of our mouth. Most High said, we're going to see what's going to stand. Like I tell you what's going to stand, either the Most High's word or your word. Ezekiel 2nd chapter, verse 3. Ezekiel wrote it in the spirit of the Most High. This is what it says. And he said unto me, Son of man, this is Ezekiel, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that are rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even until this day. Very day, he said, even to this very day, as I'm speaking to you right now. But they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. Impudent children and stiff-hearted, silly and in darkness, ignorant, not knowing. I do send thee unto them. Hear that? This is what our job is. He's sending us to the impotent children, stiff-hearted, rebellious, and thou shalt say unto them, thus say the Most High Power, as I'm telling you. Not talk about no people, talk about the Most High. This is what the Most High said. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, but they are a rebellious house. Hear that? That's talking about us. We the children of Israel. Yet so they know that there have been a prophet among them. He said, and thou son of man, hear this clearly. He said, be not afraid of them. Why you got to tell us don't be afraid of our own people? Because we treacherous. See, don't be afraid of them. Neither be afraid of their words. They're going to say all kind of words to us, and our people don't want to hear anything that corrects us and making us better. That's why the rebellious people, you can leave right now. Because y'all want to hear it. I know throughout all these years that I've done this, when I deal with certain things, boom, they be out of there, but you're going to be held accountable. Remember what I just said. If you want to sit, I'll show you how everything we do is being put in the books. And the book's going to be open. Then it's going to be the judgment. Point blank. You didn't want to hear my word, and you was rebellious, and thou son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee. Man, you ever got stuck with a rose thorn? That hurt, man. And thou dost dwell among scorpions. Hear that? The scorpion tail hits you, bam, you jacked up, man. Be not afraid of their words, because they're gonna talk plenty stuff. Nor be dismayed at their looks. They're gonna be looking at you all hard. And then look at the empress and say, oh, how you doing? How you doing today? And then look at you. Be ready to kill you. Talking much smack to you. Looking for something to happen. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house, he said. He said, and thou shalt speak my words unto them. That's why I go to this Bible and speak the words that are most high. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. See, that's why we have to look at this, man, from a standpoint of being in the spirit, man, as much as we can, and not allowing ourselves to allow people that are not in the spirit to direct us. But how would you know someone that's not in the spirit if you're not in the spirit yourself? Think about it. You would not know. You wouldn't have a clue. Continues, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. For they are most rebellious. He said, but thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Don't be rebellious like our people are in being rebellious against the Most High. Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. So he opened his mouth. Ezekiel opened his mouth, and the Most High gave him this. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me. And lo, a roll of a book was therein. Hear that? A roll of a book was therein. He said, open your mouth and eat what I'm giving you. He opened his mouth and he gave it to him. So what's going to come out of his mouth? What did he see? And he spread it before me. And it was written within and without. And there was written therein, what? Lamentations and mourning and woe. Lamentations, crying, mourning, more crying, and woe, destruction. So get some joy out of that. Get some love out of that. From what we have done and what we have done and the way we have treated the Most High from the beginning. He said, all you need is me. He said, all you need is me. And the tree of life, my son. The tree of life. Like it is right now. Ain't nothing new under the sun. And we chose the serpent, the dragon, the devil, Satan. We chose all of that instead of the Most High. But you see what's written there? Lamentation, mourning, and destruction. That's woe. But see, we looking for another way out, a way that's going to be able to get to feel good. You better understand. 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Examine yourselves. We got to examine ourselves. Whether you be in the faith, whether you really be in the faith. Said, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates? You got to know yourself. Do you really know yourself? Or you just being a robot and robotee, following whatever someone else is, leading you in and doing? And you're gonna end up standing the test, man, of time. When the time comes for the judgment, for whether or not you're gonna be going into everlasting life or cast into the lake of fire. You gotta understand, it's very important. Matthew 7 and 1. Matthew the 7th chapter, verse 1. Matthew 7 and 1. Judge not that ye be not judged. So like a lot of, Christian Saturday people say, you can't judge. You say, judge not that ye be not judged. You say, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. So how are we going to judge? You're supposed to judge according to the Bible, according to the laws of the Most High, according to what's written in the Bible. That's why if you ain't thinking about what's written in the Bible in your life, you ain't used to that, then you ain't going to judge right. That's why he said, with what judgment you judge, you're going to be judged. So the same judgment you judge in dealing with, judging according to the Bible, the word of the Most High, and with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. You understand? And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye? We always, looking at something wrong with each other. I'm looking at what's wrong according to how we're not dealing with the Most High enough. Point blank. Is that wrong for that? Talk to me. Y'all talk about everything else. It says, and why beholdeth the mote that's in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thine own eye. So yeah, I've been there. I couldn't tell you. I was looking at myself. No, I ain't ready to do nothing, hardly. I got to clean myself up. I had to clean myself up and go through the purging of myself to be in the spirit and tear myself down. But don't look at myself as being all that. You can't look at yourself as being all that. Most High name is jealous. And that's what happens. Like people think about birthday. Happy birthday. Ain't nobody say happy birthday to Jesus Christ. Talking about that was his birthday on the 25th of last month. Who was singing that? You wasn't singing nothing like that. It was all about self. Self, self, self. That's all. That's all this world is about. Pride. Lifting you up. Your day, just my day. Ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. That's why he said, and why beholdest thou the mote that's in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thine own eye. People be talking about people and they even consider themselves that they're wrong and talking about them, and they don't even know them. A lot of y'all don't know me. Like I don't know you. I know of you. You know of me. You don't know me. At this moment in my life, you don't know me. Like I don't know you. But yet still, I'll sit back and trying to make a decision on someone for what it is that they have in their own mind. They even consider their own self. We got to look at this. Once you clean yourself up and you know that you rolling in the proper way to be able to teach, judge. I mean, when you look at, you have to make decisions on people's lives and you can't be wrong. That's serious. But you got to clean yourself up first. I had to clean myself up totally. I've been through a lot, you know. I ain't no youngster. I've been through a lot in life, you know, and I had to clean myself up and continue to purge myself until this day. It ain't never over. You got to continue to do this self-examination. Look at yourself, and you ain't about nothing. I ain't nothing. That's all to be. You are? Come on. Myself saying gonna take 1,000 years to teach us of the Most High. You just got a head start. You just got a head start. We ain't nothing as we ought to be. You know, I might sound like I sound whatever, but I'm still humble before the Most High with a broken and contrite spirit as much as I can, because I love the Most High. I love myself. I love you as a people. I might talk about you. It might come however I come at you, but it's still in love. Straight up. That's why I say, and how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye? You pull that mote out of your eye, and behold, a beam is in your own eye. How you gonna correct somebody and you all jacked up? When it come back, that's why, well, what about this? I would brother be saying, what about this? You did this, you did that. You did this, and you did that. They gonna point the finger at you every time. And that's what people do. They take if you try to tell them what time it is, or they're gonna come back on you because you got a track record of being jacked up. You got that big beam that's in your eye that everybody know about. They done seen it. And here you are gonna counsel somebody about this, that, and the third, whatever. And you got that big beam in your eye still. You got to get that out. Thou hypocrite, or my shall say, callers. If you rolling like that, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye. Cast the beam out of your own eye. Get yourself straight. You got to be born again. You got to change. That's all about change to the better, to the righteousness of the Most High. Starting with Him. It go no further than that. It's about the Most High. It's about the Most High. It's about the Most High. Or tell me it's about something else other than Him. Y'all running y'all mouth. Y'all ain't talking about that. It's about Him first and foremost. He the one been neglected more than us and anybody else, man. At least we know who we are. Now, ask people, do you know the Most High? No. You know the Most High? No. You know the Most High? No. What about you? You know the Most High? No. They don't know Him. Somebody keep calling me. Just a moment. Yeah. Then they're going to hang up. When I answer, they just hung up. What's that about? And they call me about 50, 11 times. It's a Georgia number. Called me 13 times. Hold on, y'all. Gotta get back on my conference call. I shouldn't have said nothing. You know, we gotta be careful in these days, man, because a lot of things going on could be against us. That's why we gotta stay in the spirit with the Most High. It's very important that we stay in the spirit with the Most High. You know, that's a guess they figure they mess up my conference call on whatever reason. Nevertheless, just get back on it. They're calling again. Um, but you see, we have to look at what he's saying here behind people that are, they are following these people that are um off. And how you know they off if you ain't in the spirit yourself? You don't know. That's why I say, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. You see? That's why he told us in verse 15, it said, it said, give not that which is holy unto the dogs. Excuse me, on verse 15, so like it. It said, baby, that's a dog calling me, messing up my conference call. It says, it's saying, verse 15, Matthew 7:15, beware of false prophets, you see, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves, man. Ravening wolves. You should know them by their fruits. Do men gather? Just a moment, yo. They called again, I'm gonna answer it. Because they done called a lot. I see going through this lesson on spirit. Are you the spirit or out of the spirit? All kind of spirits conjured up, huh? So it is what it is. Um, it says in Matthew 6, 22 said, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. They come into you like they humble as ever. And that's a lot of these, so-called people that's leading our people astray. What I call them in crisp insanity. They talk real mellow and soft. Mosiah said, lift up your voice like a trumpet. Talk loud to our people. And show my people their transgressions. In the house of Israel, their sins. Moshe went out to a ship and talked to people on the shoreline. He had a very strong voice. Like many waters, like a multitude of people. It says, they come real, like they humble and could not hurt you at all. But then you find out that they really ravening wolves. So you shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? No. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. And this let you know that every Israelite not going to be saved, man. These wicked Israelites that are contrary to knowing of the Most High and loving the Most High, look, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. And trees are like men. But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So this corrupt tree, how he's going to bring forth some righteous fruit when they say the corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit? It's going to bring forth evil fruit. And nothing you can do about it. That's what thus said the Most High. Because the Mashiach is the word of the Most High. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So the righteous that are saved are not going to bring back these wicked Israelites. He just said a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So now it's been said that, y'all read Romans 11:26, and so all Israel shall be saved. That all is a certain number, y'all. Look it up. All this means a certain number. Not every last Israelite gonna be saved. Or what's the point of working so hard? What I don't have them tell me. I ain't gotta go. Y'all just do what you do. I'll come through y'all. I'm gonna keep on doing my wickedness. Just said it in my face. Why I gotta come and do what y'all doing? Like Tupac told us, he said, y'all got it too hard. Straight up, y'all got it too hard. Just a moment. They keep calling me. I don't know what that's all about, y'all. Mark that. I need to give y'all the number. Y'all can call it. Somebody can call it for me. Anyway, it says Matthew 7:18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So if the good, let me make sure y'all understand what this tree is, because it's hip talk, what I mean? It's like this ain't something that you're just gonna pick up and the Bible gonna answer itself. So let me show what that tree represents. I'm saying it, but I want you to know what the scripture says. I want you to go there. That's somebody, I think that is. I think somebody could have came on here and got my number from off the marquee there, and they just use it. They won't say anything when I answer. So I need to turn my hold on, I'm gonna turn my volume on my phone down so it won't be quiet. My settings. Okay. You ain't gotta hear that no more. I don't know what that's about. Unless that's what I'm thinking in the spirit. But nevertheless, because they gotta try and disrupt the spirit of the Most High that's coming out, but no weapon formed against this shall prosper. So Psalms 1, I'm gonna show you what that tree is. Psalms, the first chapter, and we can start at verse 1. It says, blessed is the man, this is Psalms, the first chapter, the first verse, proving what that tree is. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unrighteous, nor standeth in the way of sinners, those that break the laws of the Most High, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Most High. His delight is in the law of the Most High that he wrote with his finger. And in the law does he meditate day and night, right? This is what it says. And he shall be like a tree. What is it talking about? Verse 1, blessed is the man, right? Verse 3 said, and he shall be like a tree planted by rivers of water. This is the righteous that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. He said, the unrighteous are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. But they said the unrighteous gonna come through the righteous. No. That's why using analogies of what we see here. Blessed is the man, right? The man, it says, verse 3, and he shall be like a tree. That's what my shop was using this analysis of what we already know, supposed to know. That's why we got to get understanding to the precepts. Verse 4 said, the unrighteous are not so. They're not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. The part of the wheat that's just blown away. Therefore, the unrighteous shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Come on now. Therefore, the unrighteous shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners, those that break the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, in the congregation of the righteous. How the sinners going to be in the congregation of the righteous when they saying that they're going to come back through the righteous? No. It says, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Most High knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the unrighteous shall perish. You're not coming back, man. Come on. That's why it tell you, he said a righteous scarcely going to be saved. But yet still you think you can just do whatever you want to do. It's all right. It's not all right, y'all. Going back to Matthew 7, you got to see this. Matthew 7:18. A good tree cannot bring, a good man cannot bring forth evil fruit. Not going to bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So if this man is all evil and wicked in this world, get the judgment. Whatever the judgment is, you're going to be thrown in the lake of fire, whatever you're going to deal with, then you're going to come back through the righteous. That worked hard to make it? No, it don't work that way. That's why you got to work hard to make it yourself. So that judgment comes, you can say, okay, well, they say, well done, great servant or friend. That's the best, to be a friend. You see? Well done. But if you wicked, because they said, I got to do what y'all doing. He already said, I'm going to be saved. I'll just come through y'all. I'll keep on doing my wickedness. And I'll just come through y'all. That makes no sense at all. You know? Like he said, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down. Every tree that's not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, going to be hewn down and cast into the fire. Simple as that. Wherefore, by their fruits, you shall know them. That's why he said, Revelation 20 and 15. Revelation 20, this is when the book's open. Let me show you. When the book's open, we can start at verse 12. The book, this is judgment. Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Mashiach Yahushua. Let me show you that. 2 Corinthians. Is that what I want? 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Now we know what's good, right, class? Y'all should know this by heart. If you don't, you're gonna know. Romans 7 and 12. This was good. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy and just and good. See? So you're going to be judged whether or not you kept the commandments of the Most High, you kept the laws of the Most High, which is good and just, right? So here we go. Going back to Revelation 20 and 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Mashiach Yahushua. He's going to judge and he going to judge, bring that judgment on us. And the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books. Those books are recording everything that we do according to their works. You're there according to your works. But see, people that's in Christian Saturday, they want to cancel out the works. It's very important that you see this, because your works are right here in Exodus 18:20. It's your works. It still goes back to what? The laws of the Most High, commandments of the Most High. Every single time. You think he wrote 613 laws and it's null and void now because somebody telling you that? No. Exodus 18-20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. You see, teach them ordinances and laws that the Most High wrote with his finger. It shall show them the way wherein they must walk in keeping the Most High's laws and commandments, and the work that they must do. That's doing what he say do, point blank. I mean, no more, no less. Going back to the judgment. As the Mashiach was sitting on his throne judging, we all gonna meet the judgment seat of Mashiach side. According to our works, how we have what we have done in these mortal bodies and keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, or not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You choose which one you want to do. You say in this verse 13, verse 20 and 13, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. So there's a place called hell, and in the dead, those that are, you gotta understand, people that's died, bam, they're going right to the judgment. Or those that's in a place called hell, they gotta be given up for the judgment too. And they will judge every man according to their works, according to what you've done in these mortal bodies. Whether you kept the laws of the Most High or you didn't. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. After Mashiach said, do what he's gonna do. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life, this is very important, that we working that our names be written in the book of life, was cast into the lake of fire. If your name not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. And verse 10 says, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. He's already there. And brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Understand this. That's what this Bible is talking about, man. Either you're going to be, he told you rather be hot or cold. Remember he told us in Revelation 2, second chapter, he said, I'd rather you be hot or be cold. Be all the way in it, be sealed up in it, or leave it alone. Be cold. Because you lukewarm, you straddling the fence, you're an Israelite today, and tomorrow you in the world, and you dealing with all these things that's wicked. He said he's going to spew you out of his mouth. What's coming out of his mouth? Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth go a sharp sword, that with this sharp sword coming out of his mouth, he shall smite the nations. And we 12 nations, the children of Israel, we 12 nations that make up one nation. Don't get it twisted. He's going to kill us too. Start with us. He say, with that sharp sword coming out of his mouth, he's going to smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. These other nations that's outside of 12 tribes, he's going to rule them with a rod of iron. But he's still going to kill us too, as the Israelites. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. Period. But you know what's coming out of his mouth? He's going to smite you. He's going to kill you. You don't want to even know that. That's why it's, when you know all this, and it's like you think about what these scriptures are, what you have learned in these scriptures, and here it is. You see how our people are in the spirit thinking they're in the spirit and is really not in the spirit is sad, because look at Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, in verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the, and the Mashiach Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Like we read in Revelation 19 and 15. He's going to smite the nations. He's going to rule them with a rod of iron with this law. The commandments, we got a head start. Everybody can have a head start before everything go down. If you really, really look at trying to come back to the Most High and do what he say do, and put him first. Then on my second, that's an order. Then us, man, woman, and child. You see, but everything is out of order because mostly everybody talking about people now. They just talking about, debating about people. Nobody debating about the Most High. Nobody talking about the Most High. He just fit in where he fit in. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High, while Mashiach Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. We just read about what's coming out of his mouth. He's going to smite the nations. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Why? Why is this working like Satan? Real simple. Mashiach Shai fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. We can go right to what he said. What Satan said. Who's working is like as of Satan, telling you that they operate under the power of Satan, because Satan told the Mashiach Shai this. Matthew, the 4th chapter, verse 5. No, verse 8. It says, again, the devil taking him up into an exceeding high mountain and show of him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, including the kingdoms that's in this world right now. And it said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if, this is a condition, thou wilt fall down and worship me. See, all these things I'll give you, you fall down and worship me. So what has these kingdoms done? They fell down and worship Satan. So he showed him all the kingdoms of the world, said, all this could be yours. It's been given to him. Say, all could be thine if you fall down and worship me. Then said Mashiach said unto him, and every time I've showed this over and over again, I don't know why people are not locked into certain things I'm bringing out. I don't know why they're not locked into. Then Mashiach said unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written. And I challenge any of y'all, where is it written at? What he's saying here? Especially you Christian sanity people that go to these religions and so forth. What is written? Where's it written? Thou shalt worship the Most High, thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Where's that written at? Because anytime in the New Testament, there's no New Testament. There's only the law and the prophets. When the Messiah said walk the earth, there was only the Old Testament, period. When Paul was on the earth, the Old Testament, period. The law and the prophets, that's all they had to go by. So where is it written at? In the book of Revelation where we just left? No, it didn't exist until 90 to 96 AD. We fell in 70 AD. The Bible stops pretty much in 65 AD. So where is it written at? If I might ask. Let's look and see. He went to the law every single time to rebuke the devil. Something that you preachers are saying, you false prophets are saying that we not under. So you cannot rebuke the devil. You ain't teaching nobody how to rebuke the devil. You ain't teaching what the Mashiach Shai did, because you ain't going through the law to show him or show them, I might say, how to rebuke the devil. Deuteronomy 6:13. Deuteronomy 6:13 is where he went. You shall not tempt the Most High your power, as he tempted him as Messiah, right? He went here. When he said you should not tempt the Most High, that's all he needed, that little. And Deuteronomy 10 and 20. This is what he quoted. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power. Him shall thou serve, and to him shall thou cleave and swear by his name. That's what he told the devil, to rebuke him. Now, once he did that, going back to Matthew, the 4th chapter, these are solutions. This is what works. You got to take it for what it is, man. This is what works. He rebuked them, right? He told them in Matthew 4:10. Then said Marshall said to him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written. We just showed where it's written. Deuteronomy 6:13, Deuteronomy 10:20. Thou shalt worship the Most High, your power, Satan, devil, and him only shall thou serve. Right? So once he went, if you go through this whole chapter, the devil is tempting for 40 days, 40 nights, right? And he's going through the law every single time to rebuke the devil. So once he rebuked him with the laws of the Most High that most preachers are not dealing with, say you ain't under the law, but you're under grace. How are showing you how to rebuke the devil? If I might say, if they're supposed to be, they say Christian means Christ-like. Well, how are they showing you how to rebuke him if they're not doing what he did? Talk to me. John get that many comments on that. They'll talk about everything else. This is what he did. He rebuked them by going to the law that the Most High wrote with his finger. Then the devil, verse 11, Matthew 4:11, then the devil leaving him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. They leave him alone. Y'all see that? Then the devil leave him. They leave him alone. He kept going to that law. He can't deal with the law. He contrary to the law. And that's how you rebuke him. And nothing else. Play the law in your house. Read the law aloud in your house. You got spirits, read the law. Do the same thing he did. It works. Then the devil leaveth him. See? And leave him alone. They're not teaching that. Why people not teaching this? You gotta understand, man. It's real serious. The times that we're in right now, is real a serious time. And we only have the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. They'll take you here. James 4:7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High. So how do you submit yourself to the Most High if you even do what he say do? You got to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. Right? Resist the devil. How you resist the devil? And he gonna flee from you, and you don't even know how to resist the devil. I just showed you how to resist the devil. You go to the law. You read them laws out loud. You go to the law. You go, hey, Most High who you got to serve. And him only shall you serve. Devil. But some of myself go serve. You know, draw near to the Most High. See, only way you draw near to the Most High is do what he say do. You're not under the law, you're not drawing near to the Most High. You're not doing what he say do. And we are rebellious, as we went through earlier in this lesson. Draw near to the Most High. Nigh means near to the Most High. And he will draw near to you, not to you. But how you going to draw near to the Most High if you ain't doing what he say do? Make that make sense. You're taught you don't have to keep the laws of the Most High. You ain't under the law. So if you're not under the law, you ain't following what the Most High says we're supposed to do. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that we're supposed to be following. You see? It says, draw nigh to the Most High, verse 8. And he will draw nigh to you. Draw near to the Most High, and he going to draw near to you. Cleanse your hands. Clean up your mind. Clean up your hands, ye sinners, it says. And purify your hearts. Purify your minds, ye double-minded. Purify your minds, ye double-minded. He told us you can be double-minded if you want to. Go to James 1. He said, James 1 and Start at verse 5. It says, if any man lack wisdom, which is the proper application of how you apply knowledge, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Pray to the Most High, give you wisdom. But let him ask in faith. You got to ask and believing that you're going to receive it. Having believing in the Most High, nothing wavering. But he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. You know, wave waving the sea, you're going this way, that way. But let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High. It said, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You see? A double-minded man thinking this way, that way, ain't never sure about what he should be thinking. You should be thinking about what the scriptures say, and go by that, you know, on any situation. That's why you learning it to be able to know how to operate once the book is closed. You see? That's why it tells it in James, the 2nd chapter, and verse 17. Even so, faith, you know, was the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. If it have not works, which is we read in Exodus 18 and 20, is the laws of the Most High. You ain't keeping the laws of the Most High is dead, being alone. But people think all you got to do is have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, and that's all you need. Faith, it says, being alone is dead. Yeah, man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works, right? You got faith. You believe in the Most High. You believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, but I have works. Yeah, the one that I believe in, I'm doing what he say do. I'm following his laws, statutes, commandments. Show me thy faith with thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. You see? Without thy works. So let me read it right because it's very important. It says, yeah, a man may say thou hast faith. Yeah, I believe in the Most High. I believe in the Mashiach Yahushua, and I have works. It says, show me thy faith without thy work. Show me your faith without keeping the commandments and the laws of the Most High. He said, and I will show thee my faith by my works, which is we read in Exodus 18 to 20, is keeping the commandments of the Most High, keeping the laws of the Most High. You can show his faith by doing what the Most High say do. It's just rules and regulations, point blank. You see? It tells you, thou believest that there is one power, thou do it well. The devils also believe and tremble. Hear that? You believe there's only one power, that's the Most High? Say the devils also believe and tremble. But without no, O vain man, O worthless thinking man, that faith without works, faith without the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High is dead. Then you're going to show about how, you know, they had works. They did things to believe in the Most High, you know, but you looking at the people, they followed the laws of the Most High. They did what he said do. And that's what it's all about, y'all. Going back to James 4 and verse 8. Draw nigh to the Most High. Examine yourself, you in the spirit or not, or out of the spirit. It say, draw near to the Most High. And he will draw near to you, draw nigh to you. How you going to draw near to the Most High? Ain't nobody talk about the Most High. Y'all drawing near to each other. All y'all talk about is people, mostly. It says, draw near to the Most High. He's going to draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners. You that break the laws of the Most High, breaking the commandments of the Most High, and purify your hearts, purify your minds. You double-minded. That's why we're going to go to Hosea 5 and 15. Hosea 5:15. So I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense, till we acknowledge how we offended the Most High. Well, so I'm going to my place till we as the children of Israel acknowledge how we offended the Most High. These are the things that's been forgot about. Y'all talk about each other. Y'all talk about this, that, or third. People. That's all. He said, I'm going to go to my place. I'm going to return to my place till we acknowledge their offense and seek my face, he said. In their affliction, they will seek me early. See that? He said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. That's why he said in James 4:9, it said, be afflicted. It said, be afflicted. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. He said, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High, and he shall lift you up. But see, here we are. This world is very prideful. That's why it tells you, well, a lot of things gonna go down in this world, because look at Second Ezra 8, the 8th chapter. Verse 50. Second Ezra 8:50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. You see this? For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, when the last days, y'all, shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. That's why he said, humble yourselves in James 4:10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Most High, and he shall lift you up. You see? But we know, remember he told us in earlier in Matthew 24:12, it said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Here it is. He said, Exodus 8:50, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. Proverbs 29:23. People walking in great pride, man, thinking they all that, man. Or people trying to be somebody in this damn nation. This ain't nowhere to be, man. Marshall Assad made himself no reputation, man. He's trying to get away from me. Crazy, wicked people, man. Rebellious and prideful. Proverbs 29:23. So a man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. See that? A man's pride, no matter, you might be up right now, but a man's pride gonna bring him low. But honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Look at verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. You see that? They hate you for trying to be humble and trying to be right whenever they dealing with being contrary to that and being evil. That's why it said, James 4:11, speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law and judges the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. That's why the only way you can judge, like we read in Matthew 7, the same way you're going to be judged, you judge somebody, you're going to be judged the same way. You have a right to judge according to what's right, according to the Most High, and what he wrote with his finger. There was one lawgiver who was able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judges another? And think about it, he's saying, you judging someone in the wrong perspective of righteousness. You see, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Say, whereas you know not what shall be on tomorrow. You don't know, yeah, we're gonna do this and do that and do this and do that. That you don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. That's what he's saying. Well, you know not what shall be on tomorrow. That's why he say, you in the spirit, you out of the spirit. But what is your life? It is even a vapor. You hear that? What is your life? You talking about you're gonna do this and do that. You better ask the Most High will. That's what he's gonna tell you, really. But real is say, hey, it is even a vapor. Our life is a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. He give us 10. The score is 20. So that's 3 times 20 is 60 plus 10 is 70 years. That's what he give us. And Shalom, everybody that's entered into the room, welcome. He said, it is even a vapor. Our life is like a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. But that we ought to say, if the Most High will. That's Most High Raja Zawa. We shall live and do this or that. You see? That's what you should be saying. Most High will. He's saying, but now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. You see how he put the Most High in it? Y'all see that, right? We're going to do this. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do this, that, everything. Most High ain't even in it. He's not in it. That's real. That's right today. People be talking about what they're going to do this and do that and do this and do that. And Most High ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't even know if you're going to live to be able to do whatever you're going to do tomorrow. We don't know that. Boom, we could be gone right now. Boom, somebody dropped dead right now. The way people dying in this world, you don't know when you're going to go. That's why he said, hey, but what ye ought to say, verse 15, if the Most High will, we shall live. First and foremost, you got to be living to do whatever you're going to do in the future and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. And also, you know to do good and you doing what's wrong. Here you go praying. He told you this too. In Hebrews 10:26. That's why I say, are you in the spirit or out of the spirit? You say, for if we sin, we got to define sin. 1 John 3 and 4. But we've been hearing that a lot tonight too, just in case someone's coming in that don't know. It's 1 John 3, the 3rd chapter, the 10th verse. Excuse me, the 3rd chapter, the 4th verse. Whosoever committed sin, 1 John 3 and 4 defines what sin is. Write that down. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law that the Most High wrote with his finger. For sin is the transgression of the law. I don't understand how people can read this New Testament, the preachers I'm saying, they read the New Testament and you see what it says, whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Now, how is it that you can read that? And it's in the New Testament and still say we not under the law? Make that make sense? Because they're not. Because you listen to Gentiles. That's not what the law was not given to them. We read earlier Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed up his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. Con, it say, verse 10. And this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. So you got the children of the Most High, and you got the children of the devil. How do you determine who they are? Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High. So we know righteousness is Deuteronomy 6 and 25. We've defined it already in not Deuteronomy, but Psalms 119, 172. Now we define it from the law in Deuteronomy 6:25. You're not of the Most High. You know, look, whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High, right? So what's righteousness? You got to define these words, and the Bible defines itself. Righteousness, Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us, right? So to be righteous, you got to do the commandments of the Most High. Simple as that. That's why he said, and this the children of the Most High manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness, whoever it is that's not following the commandments of the Most High, whoever it is that's not following the laws of the Most High, is not of the Most High. See that? Neither he that loveth not his brother. You don't love your brother, you ain't of the Most High. That's why I say you got sitting around hating on people. Verse 15, whoever hated his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him. You sitting around hating on your brother, man. You're supposed to be dealing with that. I don't understand nobody can be jealous and envious of somebody. When you have opportunity to do whatever you can do yourself. You've been called. You've been called. I can't say we chosen, but we've been called. Every last one of us. You have opportunity to not sin and do what you got to deal with to get closer and closer to the Most High. But you got those that are just, like he said in 2 Ezra 9:22. I hate to say it, but it's real. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape and my plant be kept, for with great labor have I, that's the Most High, made it perfect. He's making some of us perfect. Hopefully it's part of me and you too. I don't know. You know, because I've seen people come and go. But the scriptures tell you, 1 John 2:19, they went out from us. They left from us, but they were not of us. All Israel, not of Israel. They went from us. They were not all of us. But if they would have been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. See? That's why I said that's a revolving door scripture right there. All it takes is something for them to be able to get up in their feelings or whatever. They wasn't about the foundation of a Mashiach Yahushua to the glory of the Most High. I ain't know nothing about that. Man, I seen people, man, they really out of it, man. The things that happen, that the scriptures is real, y'all. It's real as real could be. I'll tell you, the best you could do, you better try and humble yourself and love your people, man. Love Mashiach Yahushua. Love the Most High first and foremost. Find out how you can love him. The only way you love him, like he said in 1 John 5:3, if you love the love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. Commandments are not grievous. You ain't gonna feel that wrath that's coming on everybody. It's coming. He pissed off, man. He mad because everybody neglecting him. They still neglecting him. They're not talking about him. Who? Send me some video just talking about him. They're not doing it. That's why it's so important that somebody hear this and realize we got to stop, using the things that they have used for us to follow from slavery to now. I'll say slavery from 1492 to now. You see, when you look at St. John, the 1st chapter, in the 4th verse, in the 5th verse, they say, in him, that's what Mashiach Yahushua was life. And the life was the light of men. So when you understand what he's saying, in him was life, that's why he told you in St. John 14:6, I am the way to show you how to follow the laws and the commandments of the Most High, which is the truth that's going to lead to everlasting life. He was an example for us to follow, because people talking about like Hamashiach, Yahushai, but are they really? Or are they following the ways of the world? I think people are more likely following the ways of the world that's all caught up in all these religions, because you think about it. Yahushai never celebrated no Christmas. And he never said that's his birthday. Or if it was his birthday, don't keep his birthday. He never kept, show me Yahushai's 7th birthday, 8th birthday, 9th birthday celebration with Joseph and Mary celebrated his birthday. Any day that they celebrated his birthday. You won't find it. He was born on the Passover. The only thing it says, when he was 12, they went to the Passover. When means at that time, exact time. Look it up. That's when he was born. He died on the Passover, was born on the Passover. Between the 3rd month and the 4th month. We're in the 1st month now. I mean, it's kind of hard, for me to understand how people can't really count to 12 or count to 7. Like, this is the start of the 7th day of the week. Look at a calendar and count. That's why I like to use a little child in front of adults. And I say, this is the 6th day of the week. And what day is that? They look at show them a calendar and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When a child first learn how to count, just put it in front of their face. To put a calendar in front of their face and say, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before the Sabbath day. Because that Sabbath day is the 7th day. It started this evening to evening, right? And they can do that. I don't give a damn when they first learn how to count. Say, look, put a calendar in front of them. I'm done it. They embarrass adults because they can't count. They don't understand. This is the 6th day. What is it? They count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we talk about the 3rd day, the 3rd month, the 4th month. We're in the 1st month now, so you can count 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm talking about, hopefully. That's the 3rd to the 4th month. Between there, that's when my child was born. That's the Passover. He's following the 3rd month or the 4th month, generally. All the time. It's not those between that's the springtime. That's when he was born, in the spring. That's why I say in him was life. And the light was the light of men. And we identified the light in Proverbs 6:25, which is the commandments of the Most High, which is the laws of the Most High. That he came and did he break the laws of the Most High? Did he break the commandments? No, he didn't. He was sinless. So he was an example to show us that it could be done, coming here just like everybody else. Or what's the point of him coming? He's angelic, coming in. He's angelic power. How can anybody be like him? He's angelic. We in the flesh, and he's terrestrial, and we terrestrial. Make that make sense? No, he came in the flesh. That's why I tell you, and I'll get that next. But let's continue. It says, "And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not." You see, so he's coming to show us an example that it could be done. We could keep the laws of the Most High. We can keep the commandments of the Most High. Everybody say, "Oh, this first thing they say is, everybody has sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High," for the excuse not to do what the Most High tell us to do. That's why he's angry, man. That's why I say I'm gonna go to my place till we acknowledge our offense. That's offensive. And you say you like Hamashiach. He didn't sin. It could be done. It's just where you at in this world. You love this world. He said, where was he at? He was in the Roman Empire. And he said, the light shineth in darkness. The commandments and the laws of the Most High is shining in darkness. Ignorant people, gross ignorant people. And the darkness, the people that's in darkness, gross darkness, I might say, ignorant, they're not going to comprehend this. They won't comprehend what? That we under the law. That we under the laws of the Most High. We got to do what he say do. The ignorant not going to get this. Those that not knowing not going and don't care. That was so sad. And go with an excuse and say something wrong with you, but trying to do what the Most High tell us to do. What they gonna give you? What kind of guideline they giving you? I want to know what kind of guideline you gonna give me that's more important than what the Most High told me to do. I told us to do as the children of Israel. Talk to me. Give me something that's more important than what the Most High said to do. That would need to be asking people, what's more important? Hmm? St. John, the 3rd chapter, verse 19. And this is the excuse me, this is the condemnation. That light is coming to the world. Light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light. You hear that? Light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. You hear that? I don't give a dang if it's your daddy, your mama, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your niece, whoever, nephew, whoever, your friend, your associate. Say people, they love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Even to this day. When we said iniquity shall abound, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, that's evil. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light. Everyone that do evil hate the commandments of the Most High. Let me get that just in case some of you just coming in. And I quoted Proverbs 6:23. Let me say what that light is. Because why is it that it's written like that instead of just telling you? Because this ain't for everybody. You don't want everybody to be knowing this. Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. The law that the Most High wrote with his finger that y'all trying to exclude from people's minds and them actually operating under the Most High's commandments. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life, y'all. So this light is the laws of the Most High. Here we are. He said, St. John 3:20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. Everyone that do evil hateth the commandments of the Most High. Everyone that do evil hateth the laws of the Most High. Here people get an attitude about. That's why I say law a lot, because they can't handle that. We ain't under no law. We in the grace. But everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. They hate the laws of the Most High. You hate the Most High. Because he's the one that wrote the laws. Let me show you that. But some of you might not know. I don't like to quote things that can't prove it. Deuteronomy 9:10. And the Most High delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written how? Written with the finger of the Most High. And on them was written according to the words which the Most High spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire of the day of the assembly, man. Those are the laws of the Most High that he wrote with his finger. Yeah. The finger of the Most High. And I tell you every time, Hebrews 10:31 says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High, the living power. Shoot. He said, I'm going to melt you. Look, St. John 3:20 again. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. Every last one of you that hate the laws and the commandments of the Most High, you evil. Neither cometh to the light, neither cometh to the laws and the commandments of the Most High, lest his deeds should be reproved. What you have done, you can repent for. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light. He that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. Look at that. Y'all know, class, where we going. But he that doeth truth, where the truth at? Psalms 119, 142. We can sing it together. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So you that's keeping the laws and the commandments of the Most High, coming to the light. You're gonna come to it. The commandments, the laws, you're gonna follow them. And you're gonna be able to come to a Mashiach Yahushua, who is the light, to the glory of the Most High, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. You about the Most High, because you're doing what he say do, you know? And you're not gonna be exposed for the evil, because look, Proverbs 4:7. It's very important. These are basics that we should know that works. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom was the proper application of knowledge. Knowledge is the gathering of here the right information. Wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. So when you have the knowledge, the right knowledge, and how to apply that right knowledge, which is wisdom, in your life, then you can get understanding. But if you don't, then you're not going to understand understanding. And that's I believe Job 28:28. And unto man, this is understanding. And unto man, he said, behold, the fear of the Most High, to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, that is wisdom, you see. And to depart from evil is understanding. See, to depart from evil is understanding. So when you look at departing from evil, as the Mashiach told us, you get understanding. But how are you going to depart from evil if you don't know what's right? Just you're going to be evil and not have understanding and remain there in the congregation of the dead with a dead state of mind because you don't really look at trying to learn what's right in the eyes of the Most High. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, why he's saying what he's saying in St. John. Third chapter. John 3. It said, we'll just look at over again, verse 19. And this is the condemnation. That light is coming to the world. It's like right now, we bringing the laws and the commandments of the Most High into the world. This wicked world, evil world. And men love it darkness. They love evil. They love ignorance. They love not knowing. They love being stupid. In other words, rather than light, rather than the commandments of the Most High, rather than the laws of the Most High, because their deeds were evil. They're evil, so they don't want to deal with changing from being evil to being righteous. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. Everyone that do evil hateth the laws and the commandments of the Most High. And they tell you, I ain't under no law. I'm under grace. As long as his blood was shed for me, it was red. As long as his blood was red and was shed for me, that's all that matters. No matter how he looked, no matter how, nothing matter. Except for the fact that he was, they so in tune with themselves and they so high-minded upon themselves that he's supposed to have died for them. Don't you know that? They so this, that, and the third, so mighty that he's supposed to have died for them. Who are we to think that, he wasn't supposed to die for them? They all this and all that. Come on. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. High-minded, prideful, man. That's why I say many miseries gonna be in this earth because of pride. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light. Everyone that do evil hated the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. Neither cometh to the light. They're not going to come to the light. But yet still, y'all trying to compromise with the evil that's dealing with these Christian insanity, madness, theology, and so forth, and think they're going to come to the kingdom. No, they ain't concerned about doing what's right according to the Most High. You tell them, look what the Bible says. What they following? They following their own heart, their own mind, period. They in the trance, they in a spell. In a spell. It said the devil deceived those that's on this earth. And they deceived. They've been lied to. And they've really been, crafted into that world of deception. Straight up. Everyone that doeth evil hated the light. So if you ain't keeping the laws of the Most High, you keep the commandments of the Most High, you think about them, you ain't doing them, you ain't learning, living, and applying them in your life, you evil. That's what he's saying. That's what your Jesus said. Neither cometh to the light. When we find the light in Proverbs 6:23. But y'all use your Jesus and say that cancels out what the light really means, what he's talking about. No, this ain't for you to know. Otherwise, you would know this. Inquire about it. Say, lest his deeds shall be reproved. You hear that? That's what you're doing, and breaking the laws of the Most High should be reproved. And it's not being reproved because you are hiding back. A lot of y'all, like you don't see me people. Y'all evil, y'all done evil things and do evil things and act like nobody see you. Most High see everything. And what he does, he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and the secret parts, the thing you think nobody see. Most High see it. Then he revealed it to he revealed his secret things to his servants, the prophets. It be revealed to us. But he that doeth truth, and we know the truth is Psalms 119, 142, that righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. That's why I say you can't deny it's all about the Most High's laws and commandments, man. But he that doeth truth, who said this? Hamashiach Yahushai. You that do the laws and the commandments of the Most High cometh to the light. You're going to come to Hamashiach Yahushai. And you're going to come to following the commandments and the laws, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. Everybody ain't wrought in the Most High, man. Everybody not there. That's why we dealing with you in the spirit. Are you out of the spirit? Where you at? Huh? Talk to me. Where you at? Where you want to be? If you want to be, then you got to look at coming back to the Most High. You better stop talking about him. How many times count the times I done said his name, or at least you identify the Most High in this lesson? Been a many times. And I talk about him all throughout the day. Anybody that know me, he gonna come up. He gonna come up. You better believe that. But see, I see that even with that, the Christian sanity people will say, "Oh, but it's about the grace, the grace, and grace is getting something you don't deserve to get." But grace and mercy is clearly defined in Wisdom of Solomon 3:9 and Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Let's go to the short one. 4:15, defining who the grace and mercy is for. Because them heathen nations will say, hey, they under grace, right? But look what it says here. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw and understood it not, neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. You see that? The people saw it and didn't understand it. Like a lot of things y'all don't understand. See, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. And he have respect unto his chosen, right? So who the saints? You just define the saints. Y'all should know that by heart by now. Psalms 148:14. You get understanding to the precepts. Psalms 148:14. Psalms 148:14. All praise and glory and honor to the Most High. Psalm 148:14 defines, he says, grace and mercy is to his saints. Who the saints? Psalm 148:14. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. Who the saints? Even of the children of Israel, who we are people near to him. Praise ye the Most High. See? He exalted the horn, the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. Still defines on who his people are. Even of the children of Israel. That's his people. Even of the children of Israel. Who are the saints? Even of the children of Israel are people near to him. Praise ye the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Yeah, because his understanding showing us how to depart from evil and doing what he say do, to be righteous to the best of our ability. You see that? So it said his grace and mercy is with his saints in Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. And he have respect unto his chosen. Who is chosen, people? Who are the Most High's chosen, if I might ask? Hmm? Anybody that called on the name of Jesus, right? Is that right? I don't think so. I see what it says in Isaiah 44:1. You see, we can get some understanding here. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant." Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. "And Israel, whom I have chosen." There it is. "And Israel, whom I have chosen." It's right there. Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 7:6. "But thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee." That thee is you. The Most High thy power hath chosen you to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Only if we did what he told us to do in Deuteronomy 28:1-2. We ain't above nobody. We're going to do what he said do. We were above people. We were above all these nations at, pretty different periods of time as we as a nation. But shoot, man, he told us this, Deuteronomy 28:1. "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, listen again, as we seen earlier, diligently unto the voice of the Most High, thy power, your power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth," just like we just read. Right? "And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken, listen unto the voice of the Most High thy power." This is the kingdom. "Blessed I'll be in the city, and blessed I'll be in the field," in the world, where we at. We're going to be blessed. If we keep the commandments of the Most High, that's what it's all about. You can't run from this. You can look at it any way you want to, better do a self-examination of what's really real, because this was happening. This is what it's all about. You want to be Mashiachim, gotta do what he say do. If not, then you're on your own. He ain't rolling with you. Most I know of Mashiach Yahushua. He cutting ties, man. Look. This is what people don't realize. How is it that, okay, let's read this. Go to Mark 12:28. Mark 12:28. This is, are you in the spirit or you out of the spirit? Mark 12:28. "And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together and perceiving that he had answered them well, which he always answered well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all." Now, if I ask you what's the first commandment of all without you reading further, you should know this. But most people don't know. They don't know what the first commandment of all is. And he's telling them, the first of all the commandments is, "Hear, O Israel." You hear that? Excuse me. "Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power." I was a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. Is one power. You understand? And I don't use that word LORD, because when I looked up BAAL, and I'm gonna keep putting it in your face till someone gets it. I looked up BAAL. You see that? What it means? In all the Bible dictionary. You see what it means? BAAL means LORD. Straight up. And they put it, that's their God. They put it in the Bible. You ain't gonna call on BAAL, but you sure will call on LORD. You'll wear that out. They know it. I mean, we've been programmed as such. That was from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. This from, let's look at the New Unger's Bible Dictionary. You got all kind of BAALs here, but look at the first definition of any dictionary you get. The first definition gonna be what? You see it? See what it says right there? The first definition is what? Lord. Now they asked, just contested on Jeopardy, and I'm exposed to them, putting it out there for those that, inquiring minds that really care. They asked him, what is the four-letter word for the Canaanite god, Lord? And without hesitation, he said, Baal. I'm just spelling it because most I said we ain't supposed to let these names of these gods come out of our mouth, right? Let me show you that. So just in case you just think I'm making up something, that's what the law says. And that's what he said. Exodus 23 and 13. Exodus 23 and 13. It says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, be cautious, be careful, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. You see? That's why we're not supposed to be, and they put all these names of these gods in here. Here we go. You got to understand what we don't understand, where the Spirit is bringing to you. Hopefully you will hear and see this in Ezekiel 39:23. This is what the heathen know that we don't even know that they know. It says, Ezekiel 39:23, and the heathen, these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, for our wickedness, for our sins. The other nations know this. So we think they're gonna show you the right way? No. You see? And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them. That's why he said what? Hosea 5:15. I'm gonna go to my place till we acknowledge our offense and seek his face. Just what are you telling here? We trespass against them, therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. You see? These other nations know this. We don't know this because we don't want to learn nothing. We don't want to learn enough. We satisfied where we at. Being in darkness. No, let me get it right. Gross darkness. Gross ignorance. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgression, according to us breaking the Most High's laws, statute, commandments, have I done unto them and hid my face from them. He hid his face from us. That's why only way he's going to turn his face back to us if we exalt him with all our might, strength, and do what he say do. Point blank. That's the only hope. That's the only hope. Y'all better understand. Don't wait till Jacob's trouble. Then next thing you know, you're trying to get it. It's too late then. Too late. Most of them, a lot of them get you. It's too late then. And some gonna be martyrs, Going back to Mark 12:29. And the Master would say, answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel. We in the New Testament. This is the first of all the commandments. Hear, O Israel. You all night, what do he say? Hearken to me. Israel. The Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. Like I just showed you, we don't use that word Lord because that means Baal. And that's their God, Baal. They put it in the Bible, having you calling on their God. I don't care how you look at it. You can't translate nothing from ancient Hebrew that we were saying that word, period. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart. This is the first commandment, but not the first of all the commandments. The first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. But we say Shema, we know how to say that in Hebrew. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. How you gonna love the Most High when He told you in 1 John 5:3? I'm just saying because Christian Saturday people will quote these two scriptures here and say that's all you got to do. But He said you love the love of the Most High in 1 John 5:3 is to keep His commandments. And commandments are not grievous. What does it say? Thou shalt love the Most High. 1 John 5:3 said, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep His commandments. Commandments are not grievous. With all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. Like He said, you got to exalt Him with all your strength. And the second is like unto, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. Now, just in the spirit, since y'all say y'all in the spirit, what's the first thing He said? For those commandments, who was it talking to? Who He said to listen? Who He said to hear? Every nation? Everybody? The first of all the commandments is what? Hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. Where that's at? Where's He going to, where you find that at, preachers? Huh? Y'all talking about y'all Mashiach, y'all like Him? Where you find that at? Talk to me. Deuteronomy 6:4 is the first of all the commandments. Deuteronomy 6:4. Where's that found? In the law that you say we not under. But you're going to follow Mashiach Yahushua. He's talking to them saying, hey, this to Israel, the Israelites. Hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one. Here it is right here. Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power is one power. Isn't that what He just quoted? And thou shalt love thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. Hear that? He said the second part, the reason why I say this because Most High gave us 613 laws, and these 613 laws are built around how we love the Most High and keeping His commandments, and how we love each other as the Israelites, as ourselves. I want to say they based upon that. All the commandments is how we deal with the Most. We love the Most High and do what He say do, as far as concerning Him. And then the other parts is like dealing with all these laws, dealing with moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. Okay, it's how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other, how we love the Most High and how we love each other. That's what the laws are based upon. 613 laws based upon those principles. We got moral laws, civil laws. That's about us. Dietary laws, that's about us. You see, ceremonial laws about the Most High, His feast days and so forth, and how we serve Him. And the sacrificial law was about the Most High. You see? So it's based upon those 5 sets of laws. But it's how we love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and how we love our neighbors thyself. Even with the 10 Commandments, look, let me show you. You that's in the spirit should know this. You're not out of the spirit that's dealing with Christian insanity. You don't know nothing about this. You can't go here because it's in the law. How you gonna go here if it's in the law? You ain't under the law. This the law. This is the 10 Commandments right here. Look, you're going to see that the first part is about the Most High. The second part is about how we love our neighbors ourselves, how we act as a people. Exodus 20:1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, your power, which had brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, out of captivity, slavery, and bondage, under the Egyptians. The Israelites is talking to. All 12 tribes was here. 13 really were damned. Thou shalt have no other powers before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that love me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. It's all about the Most High. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High, thy power, in vain. Still about the Most High. He's supposed to take His name in vain. For the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh His name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works. Still dealing with the Most High. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Most High, thy power, your power. In it, thou shalt not do any work. Thou, you, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that are within thy gates. Still dealing with the Most High. Sabbath day. This is his day, the Sabbath day. For in 6 days the Most High Mashiach Yahushua made heaven and earth, Alahayim, made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day, wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, right? That's all about the Most High, 1 to 11. Now he's going to talk about love thy neighbors thyself, the things that pertain to how we deal with each other. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. You see, honoring the father and the mother. Thou shalt not kill. Talk about us. That means murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. This is all about us. Loving your neighbor as yourself. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You ain't supposed to steal from your brother. And thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Lie to your neighbor. That's an Israelite. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. That's all about loving thy neighbor as thyself. The first part was about loving the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength. And the second part was about, from 11 to 17, was about, 12 to 17 was about how we love thy neighbors thyself. You see how that is? And it goes on to have more moral laws. You know, he's not telling you all the laws within. That's just a synopsis of things that we got to deal with. And you go deep into the laws, or you can go into the laws. I'm going over the laws. You know, go to my page, Priest Alwam, T-A. You got to spell my name right, because you're not going to get on it. Well, y'all here now, look at how it's spelled. You can go on there, just type in beside my name in the eyeglass if you're on a laptop or a desktop, and put going over the laws or going over the 613 laws. I'm going over the laws for you. So you will know what the laws are that the Most High gave us. But that's how this is broke down, man. And that's what he's telling us, how we got to operate, so we operate correctly. It's very important that we see this. Matthew 22. Matthew 22 and 37. Mashiach said to him, thou shalt love the Most High women. Matthew 22:36. He said ruler. I don't like that word. That word M-A-S-T-E-R also deal with B-A-A-L. Salati Most High. That word M-A-S-T-E-R still goes into B-A-A-L. That's one of the definitions also. They put it in there. You see, we don't know because we ain't did that, extensive research, which I have, and I'm telling you see it in there, man. It's right there. Show you. If you go back to the beginning of this lesson, you'll see that the Most High said Israel's hard-headed and hard, stiff-necked. You see that? I got it underlined for you. Can you see it? Make sure. You see it? B-A-A-L. You see that? It says M-A-S-T-E-R. So there it is. Good enough for me. I look at it. I don't want to offend them. I don't want to offend them. And hopefully you don't either. Mean something to you to stop. You can blame me if you want to, but don't blame me when the Most High come after you. You hearing it and you don't change. You don't want. You gonna keep on doing the same thing or following whoever it is you following. Because my son, you can go to hell any way you want to. Don't try to take me with you. That's for real. Damnation, whatever you want to call it. That's real talk. Better hear this. We in this together. And the only way we're gonna get out of it is to know what you gotta do. But here, look at what it says here, because they asked him a question. So you see the difference. Now you got to remember what the first of all the commandments is, right? Is hear, O Israel. Most of our power is one power. So now when you go to Matthew 22 and 36, it said ruler, or king, which is the great commandment in the law. That what he said. See if you catch it. Masha said unto him, thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. See? See that? You see the difference in the question that was asked, though? I hope you do. Because it's not the same question. The first question was what? What is the first of all the commandments? The first of all the commandments is hear, O Israel. The Most High, our power, is one power. He asked him in verse 36 of the 22nd chapter of Matthew, say, King, which is the great commandment in the law, right? What is the great commandment in the law? There's a difference between what is the first of all the commandments in the law. The difference. The great commandment of the law. And then for all you to say we ain't under the law, why is he talking about the law? Why is he giving them the great commandment in the law if we ain't under the law and you're supposed to be like Mashiach? He didn't break no laws. He didn't break no commandments. But how is that they ask him about the law and he's giving the answer of the law and y'all don't go to the law? Make that make sense? And y'all like him. Make that make sense? Because all he could do is go to the law and the prophets. Every time he went to the temple, what did he read from? The law and the prophets, the Old Testament, that's it. I gotta grind that into your mind because y'all hypnotized, man. Y'all dealing with some kind of spell or something. Look, show me where he did anything but just come from the Old Testament. That's all he had to go by. You that don't believe in him, you don't even know him. Look. They asked him, King, Matthew 22, 36, which is the great commandment in the law? Where's the law at? The first 5 books of the Bible. Mashiach said unto him, thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. We just read that in Deuteronomy 6 and 4. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So where is that at? Love thy neighbor as thyself. It's in the law. Leviticus the 19th chapter. Leviticus the 19th chapter. Leviticus the 19th chapter. Verse 1, let you know who he's talking to. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel. Right? Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel. That's who he's talking to. And said to them, ye shall be holy. And we define holy in Romans 7 and 12. You go to the New Testament to define holy. Ain't that something? The commandment is holy, the law is holy and just and good. Come on. You shall be holy. You got to keep the commandments of the Most High, keep the laws of the Most High. For I, the Most High, your power, am holy. Now go to verse 17. Since they're talking to the children of Israel, what it say? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor who was an Israelite, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Most High, power Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what he's telling us. That's the second greatest commandment, coming right there. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That what the Mashiach said? Love the Most High with all heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. All the commandments are based upon those two principles: how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other, how we love the Most High and how we love each other. Simple as that, y'all. No more, no less. So when you look at 1 Corinthians, the second chapter, and we're going to look at verse 15 and 16. But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. He that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. Why? Because he's rolling in the spirit. And to understand, it says, but who have known the mind of the Most High? Who have known the mind of the Most High? He said his ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts, that he may instruct him, tell the Most High what to do. But we have the mind of a Mashiach Yahushai. That's why he told us in 1 Corinthians 3:23, and ye are Mashiachim. We are the Messiahs. And Mashiach is the Most High. That's why he told us in St. John 14:6, I am the way to show you how to follow the truth, the laws, the commandments of the Most High. That's going to lead to everlasting life. Say, no man coming to the Father but by me. We got to go through him. We've been going through him. There is no New Testament when he said it. That's why David said in Psalm 110:1. Y'all got to get this. The Most High said it to my power, Hamashiach Yahushua, because he knew that he was Mashiachim. Who's David power in that scripture? It's a Mashiach. I'm telling you. Said, Most High said it to my power, Hamashiach Yahushua, sit thee on my right hand, which he's on the right hand of the Most High right now, until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Straight up. But, you know, we always find some way disrupt the simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua in some way or another, so that we lead people astray. And I don't want you to be led astray. I want you to know what time it is so you can actually operate and teach someone else. And they can understand spiritually. So look, Mashiach said this. Go back to Matthew, speaking of that, go back to Matthew 22 and verse 41. What we left off, it say, while the Pharisees were gathered together, Mashiach would say, ask them. The Pharisees were like the political leaders, religious political leaders, like someone like would be like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton was, probably being, both of them ran for president, you know what I mean? That type of religious person. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Mashiach Yahushua asked them, saying, what think ye of Mashiach? He ain't say Yahushua or any other name that you use for Jesus. He said, what think ye of Mashiach? Whose son is he? So whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David. Now, he talking to the Pharisees. Say, whose son is he? They say the son of David. He said unto them, how then, remember what I just told you about and taught you in Psalms 110:1, the Most High said unto my power, that's what Mashiach Yahushua, David saying, sit thee on my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. But people in Christian insanity will say that the Most High is sitting on his own right hand, and the Mashiach Yahushua is sitting on his own right hand, because they say the Most High is the Mashiach Yahushua, and the Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. But that makes no sense at all. But this is what he said. He asked him, what think ye? of Mashiach. What do you think of Mashiach? Whose son is he? Verse 42. They say unto him, the son of David. He said unto them, how then does David in spirit, like we got up in his spirit, David was in spirit, call him that word, saying, because he didn't say that word. But they put it there, like I told you, represent Baal. You can use king. But look what he said. The king said unto my king, sit thou on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. That's Psalms 110:1 all day long. I quoted to you. You want to go there? It's the same thing. And that's in the spirit because I quoted it and here it comes up right here. With a Mashiach put it in the Pharisees' face. Like I'm putting in your face. The Most High said it to my power. Psalm 110:1. Sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Right? So Mashiach says, where's he at? He's in the Old Testament. Now, how y'all read this New Testament and there's no New Testament? He's quoting from the Old Testament over and over and over again. As he teaching the people what they had the scrolls of the prophets and so forth. He said unto them, Matthew 22:43, how then does David in spirit, call him his power? Like we Mashiach, call him Mashiach, saying, the Most High said unto my power, a Mashiach Yahushua. That's two different powers, not the same. Somebody's saying one entity is saying something to another entity. The top entity, Most High, is saying to Mashiach Yahushua, telling Mashiach Yahushua. He asking him, why is the Most High saying to Mashiach Yahushua, as David said in the spirit, sit thou at my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David didn't call him his power, how was he his son? Think about it. He said, if David say that Mashiach is his power, he's saying, how am I his son? And no man was able to answer him a word. Neither does any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. That was it. But we know when you read 1 Corinthians 15:24, those that's in the spirit to understand what it is that's going on here. 1 Corinthians 15:24. Then cometh the end of this world that we are now, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High. See that? Even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. That's power, rulership, and authority. That is the definition of salvation. Power, rulership, and authority. He shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. That's salvation right there. Power, rulership, and authority. For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. Then he say, the Most High said unto my power, sit thee on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. What goes on the footstool? Your feet. There it is. He must reign till he have put all enemies, not friends, but enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. For he have put all things under his feet. But when he said all things are put under him, when the Mashiach shall have all, like he said, he's going to smite these nations with a rod of iron. They're going to, look, what's going to come from his mouth? Let me get it again. Revelation 19:15, just in case you forgot. Let's recall him putting all these nations under his feet. That's what it tells you. Revelation 19 and 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it, this sharp sword, he shall smite, which means kill the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is the laws, the commandments of the Most High. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. That's when you look at 2nd Ezra 13. Go to 2nd Ezra 13. He's saying to put all the enemies under his footstool, right? That's what he's doing. Here it is. Revelation, 2nd Ezra, from Revelation 19:15 to 2nd Ezra 13. Who in the spirit, who out of the spirit? 2nd Ezra 13. All the nations gonna plot to kill him, take him out. They're not gonna give up this kingdom. He said gonna put all his enemies on his footstool. Here it is right here. When they all come together to fight him, the army, the navy, the marines, the air force of all these nations, together to fight on Mashiach when he come, here it is. 2nd Ezra 13. Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, that's the army, the navy, the marines, the air force of all these nations, were so afraid. They're going to be scared, and yet does fight, but they're going to fight because they're under orders. Listen. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire. Remember what he said? Revelation 19:15. Out of his mouth and come a sharp sword, he's going to smite the nations out of his mouth. This is what it says. But lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips he a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together. What was mixed together? The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude. That's the army, the navy, the marines, the air force of all nations that coming together to fight him, which was prepared to fight and burn them up. Everyone. So that upon a sudden a renewable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. Ezra said, when I saw this, I was afraid. He was scared. It scared him. Now, when you jump down to verse 37, tell you who it is, without a shadow of a doubt, in the Old Testament. He said, and this my son, that's what Mashiach Yahushua, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. That's the fire. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. He's going to tell them how you're going to torment them, each one, which are like unto a flame. He come with that fire. And he shall destroy them without labor. How? By the law. The same laws that you preachers are saying we ain't under. He's going to destroy all these nations, army, navy, marines, and air force, by the law, which is like unto fire. When you look at Jeremiah 23:29, it says, is not my word like unto fire, like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Look at Isaiah 34:2. Isaiah 34. Got to bring a little prophecy up in here. Isaiah, I'm just about finished though. Isaiah 34. Let's read verse 1. Come near, ye nations, right? Come near, ye nations. They're here. Hearken, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear. Let everybody hear. And all that in therein, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Most High, Wamashiach Yahushua is upon all nations. You know that indignation of the Most High, Wamashiach Yahushua is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Can't get no clearer than that. He have utterly destroyed them. Remember, this ain't gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. He have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. He said, all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Sound like nuclear destruction to me. And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. You see that scroll back there? That's a scroll. You seen the nuclear bombs when they hit, goes up like a scroll, man. And all their hosts, all their armies shall fall down as a leaf falleth off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. He said, my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Heaven is right here on this earth. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea, it means Edom, Rome. Come on down upon Idumea, upon the people of my curse, the judgment. Let's look up Idumea. I don't like to say things, you can't prove it. And I like to show that they proved what these words mean. See? Here it is right here. See? Idumea. See what it says? Pertaining to Edom. Edom, Rome. Pertaining to Edom. Greek and Roman name for Edom. Can't get no clearer than that. So it said, because when you read 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it's saying, verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, that's Edom, Rome, and upon the people of my curse, the judgment. And that's the curse of leprosy. They clean lepers. But also, we can look at, let's go into the Apocrypha, as far as Idumea is concerned. First Maccabees, the 5th chapter. We just went over this from going through our 8 days of celebrating the Feast of Dedication. But I want you to see something here. It tells you, see, and First Maccabees 5 and 1. Now we have dedicated the temple. We got our temple back, our altar back, where we can sacrifice, because they had defiled it. Abomination of desolation that Daniel spoke of is right there. When you go back and look at the lessons, you can see I went deep into, the Feast of Dedication this year. And so First Maccabees 5 and 1, it says, now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, we got our altar back, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. This in the Greek Empire, before Mashiach came on the earth, in the Roman Empire. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. When they took down the Persian Median Empire, the Persian Medes had 127 different provinces. So we are living in all these different provinces. So the people, all of us that was Israelites that were among them, living among them, they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay, they began to kill and destroy the people. We, the children of Israel. Then Judas fought against it. I'm here because we talking about Idumea. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea. See? Esau in Idumea. Edom, Rome. So-called white man. At Arabadon, because they besieged Israel. And he gave them a great overthrow and abated their courage and took their spoils. See? Also, he remembered the injury of the children of Beam, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, and that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up, therefore, in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that were therein. There it is, right there. But we always had, war with these nations because we are the chosen people of the Most High, and they're not. But, think of it how you want to. Like I say, who's in the spirit, who's out of the spirit. This is what you nations should be doing. I'll give you this before I leave again. Jeremiah 12 and 16. Because nobody's really teaching this Bible, man, like we the Israelites are, Jeremiah 12:16, it tells you this. This to other all nations outside of the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, all those that are not of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. If you're not of those tribes, of the 12 tribes of Israel, just to you. And it shall come to pass, Jeremiah 12:16, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name. That's the name I like to use because Jacob's name was changed to Israel and became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, those 12 tribes that I just named. Swear by his name. The Most High liveth. As they taught my people to swear by B-A-A-L, as I just told you. They put it in the Bible, that's their God. B-A-A-L. And they put it in the Bible, which means L-O-R-D. Come on. I'm going to show you what it said, what the guy on Jeopardy said. Let me see if I can get it for you. Go all over that. Don't know, you might not be on the social media page that I'm on. Let me show you right quick. Let me see. Bear with me. When they say something, it means a whole lot. Let's see. I got it. Oh, let me better than that. Let me let you hear Epstein's niece tell you.
And yeah, you're a very powerful speaker and you're very well researched. We've had a lot of survivors come on, and we salute you, for the level of detail and knowledge that you have. I think it was David Icke who woke me up to the ancient cults and the bloodlines that continued to these generations. And I think you're the first survivor, perhaps, who's actually detailed how that has continued over the ages. So if you could maybe expand on that a little bit, I think the viewers would find this fascinating.
What specifically would you like expanded on?
So what was the cult that you mentioned earlier, the ancient one?
The cult of Baal, B-A-B-A-L.
Yes. Yep.
I know very little about it. My family masqueraded themselves as Jewish publicly. But behind closed doors, at Passover dinners, when I was drugged, would admit, we are Satanists. Now, what I can understand, the public has caught on to this, but they call them the Illuminati. And I find that interesting because Illuminati means illuminated. I perceive the Illuminati, in fact, to be individuals like yourself, other conspiracists like Alex Jones, even people like Kanye West who have been trying to illuminate people to this. I do not believe it is a unified organization, but a loose collection of individuals who are illuminated to the cult of Baal, who has successfully mythologize themselves as the Illuminati.
See that? See that? Told you that's what they say. They worship Baal, as she said. She lived with them. She's one. He's telling you point blank. That's who they worship. So you heard it for yourself. And let me see if I can find the Jeopardy one. That one get a lot of attention. Since we just about closing out. I can find it. Bear with me. Crazy. So many pictures here. I got to go through and clean some of my pictures out of here. There's too many. Oh, man, I hope I got it in here. Oh no, I might not. I have to find out where it's at. Anyway, it's a Jeopardy episode where they asked the contestants, they said, what is the 4-letter Canaanite god, the other name for it, called, the other name for the 4-letter Canaanite god, which is called Lord. And immediately the cat said Baal. And that's what y'all calling on when y'all calling on Lord. Baal. Baal. That's what you're calling on when you're calling on Lord. Understand, overstand this. So that's why, going back to Jeremiah 12 and 16, and it shall come to pass if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, what we're teaching, what I'm teaching, and what we as the Israelites that's been ordained to teach this Bible in the last days, if these other nations will learn the ways that we're teaching, to swear by my name. They got to swear by the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, that's his name forever in Exodus 3:15, 3:14, 3:15 to 16. Swear by his name. As they taught my people to swear by Baal. And they put Lord in this Bible. And our people saying that. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. Then they're going to be built in the kingdom. They want salvation. They're going to be built in the midst of the Most High's people, who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel. Matthew 2 and 6, you can look it up in the New Testament. It tells you who is my people are. My people Israel. But if they will not obey, you don't obey, diligently learning the ways of what we're teaching the Most High people, teaching you, and teaching everybody. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, said the Most High. That's what he said. I didn't write it. That's what he's saying. And we had to follow, you know, what he told us to do. Or he put us in captivity, saving bondage. Period. Simple as that. So y'all want to obey? He said he gonna utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, said the Most High. So y'all should be talking about getting it together. To listen to what's coming down. So you can know, you can be in the spirit with those that's in the spirit and not out of the spirit. A lot of y'all following those that are out of the spirit. Mashiach Washai said in Matthew 13:42, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire, there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. You won't be there. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the son of the kingdom of their Father. Whoever ears to hear, let him hear. There it is. And with that, I say, Krum Abanawa Yahweh, Most High, Krum Mashiach Yahushai, and Krum Yasharallah, and I'm out. Shalom. Tawada for joining me, and join us tomorrow. We'll be here on Priest Awam YouTube, and we'll be on Pseudo-Wisdom Israelites YouTube, either or. It will be on approximately or maybe 12 Pacific time, a different time, 12 Pacific time. Instead of 1:30 tomorrow, we're gonna be on earlier, 12 Pacific time, which would be like what, 2 Central Time, 1 Mountain Time, 1 p.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Central Time, and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us right then. We're gonna be all together bringing forth this truth. It's supposed to rain out here, so it's been storming. It's supposed to be storming for a few days, so we're gonna be online. We'll be here bringing forth this truth. Krum Most High, Krum Mashiach Yahushai, Krum Yasharallah, and I'm out. All praise to the Most High. Shalom Mashiach Yahushai. Shalom.